Welcome to Out of the Blue number 467. Can it be? I'm going to talk today about something that magicians know. Here's a saying: only a fool thinks they can't be fooled. Before I go on, there's something else I should explain. Okay, I'm basically at work right now. Okay, I'm a graduate of a comparative religion department at a college, university, and this is sometimes, like today, it's kind of like lecturer in comparative religion. Okay, and but being at work, religion, whatever religion a person is something you don't talk about at work. Like, whatever religion you are, when you go to work, that you don't talk about that. That's unprofessional. That's the word I'm looking for. And so, nowhere, even though I'm talking a lot about Jesus and heaven and the afterlife and God and all these things, that is the subject of study within comparative religion. And so, I didn't know what religion my professors were at university. I didn't know if they were or weren't religious. So whatever religion the professor was not the subject. They were scholars in some subject, and they would lecture on their specialty, right? So so I want to make clear that this is like a work environment where we don't talk about whatever religion we are because we're at work. But the work is talking about religion. See what I'm saying? So anyway, what I had started to say was there's something magicians know that other people don't know, and that is that they can be fooled. And there's this little moment. That moment of being fooled is super fleeting moment because it happens early in your awareness before whatever the thing happens splits. So I'll give you an example. I was talking a couple months ago about this idea called organic magic, and what happened with me was I was walking up in Sirius Sea Park, and on my right there was trees and blue sky up above, and against the solid trees, this bluebird flew by. And it was this little bright blue, sky blue colored bird. And even though it wasn't close to the trees were in the background, it was over this field, it turned up and it entered into this area of where it was the leaves of the trees and the blue sky behind it. And the bird just disappeared like a magic trick. And it was just spectacular. It was not even very far away from me. It just went, and the moment it turned where it had that other thing as a background, it simply disappeared right before my eyes. And that's what I call organic magic. And what happens is there's a moment when you're fooled, and you're like, bang, it just disappeared. And then there's a next moment where it splits into your brain halves, and one half, like what happened with me, is fooled, right? Momentarily. This brain, or one side, says, oh, it was camouflaged by the background. Blink, and explains it. The other side says, wasn't that a beautiful magic trick? And it like absolutely splits. I had another instance like this happen where I guess this connects it to fiddling, but this is another incredible magic trick that happened to me. I don't even know if I should display it at this time, but I guess since I'm on the subject. Before going to Weezer one year, I was listening to this Joe Paz record. Joe Paz, the fiddling engineer. And he died, I think, in the 80s or something like that. And he has records out on Voyager Records, and I used to listen to these and I had a couple real choice ones, you know. And Joe Paz used to go to Weezer, and so he's a known person there. And he was an actual train engineer. And so I was at Weezer one time, and I was walking somewhere, and it was a perfectly blue, I mean, not blue, but perfectly clear nighttime sky. It was at night, and the sky was full of stars. And I'm walking, and from the sky, I hear a train. I hear this train coming from up there in the sky. And it was kind of mysterious for a moment. And I was like cocking my head in mystery. And I was like, how is that happening? And so there was this moment of this fleeting moment of mystery. And then it split into my brain halves. And one half figured out and explained it, that it was the train in the valley echoing off the mountains on the other side of the valley. So what I was hearing was this echo coming off the mountains from a kind of far away. So it sounded like it was coming from the sky. And at the same time that this side thought that, this side explained it as Joe Paz up in heaven saying hello. So I was at Weezer, which is where Joe Paz used to go, and I had been listening to Joe Paz before I got to Weezer, and then at Weezer, Joe Paz says hi to me from the heavens. Organic magic. So anyway, magicians know that you can be fooled, and they work with this little moment that fools you. That's their medium, so to speak, and they enjoy seeing that medium work.